All right, there we go. Technical difficulties. We'll get those out of the way before the season starts. How's that? Um, so if you guys watch this, go back and watch this later, you're going to see that we kind of did a brief introduction. But as everybody knows, our Facebook feed has been pretty light over the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of things in the hopper, a lot of things going on the MTT side. Just working with some sponsors and getting some things dialed in so that we could come out and tell everybody kind of where we're at for 2025, things that are going on. Um, there's a whole bunch of really good things to come. If you guys have been watching Facebook um, in the last just today, you'll see that there's some differences on Facebook, right? We posted a kickoff video, then we posted the river flyer finally, and we'll talk about that flyer a little bit in its entirety. Um, so the big deal, the big elephant in the room. There's a pretty major logo change on that flyer for 2025. That's why I invited Dave to be on the live with me tonight. Dave is, and I'll explain that a little bit. Um, 2025, we're rebranded. We're going with a Ranger Mercury presenting sponsor from Skeeter. Some things have happened in the market where it was time for us to dive into what was best for the MTT, what was best for our anglers. Our focus is now and always has been and always will be doing what we feel is best for the trail. And the trail doesn't exist without the anglers. So, in turn, we are doing what's best for our anglers. And that was to make the switch from a long-standing relationship with Skeeter and Yamaha to Ranger and Mercury. Um, Dave Askew is Mercury and Ranger Pro staff with Frankie's as well. Um, Dave has put in a lot of work over the last week, especially to help us get this to where we are today. So, first of all, I want to thank you, Dave. And if you guys get a chance, you should thank him. It's been a grind over the last few days. Some others maybe have seen some things going on that they know it was a little bit stressful the last 5 days, but we're there. So for 2025 and beyond, we will be working with Ranger and Mercury as our presenting sponsors for the Minnesota Tournament Trail. Um, Dave, if you want to just kick it off and kind of tell them what are we looking at, what are we going to do this year with the Ranger Mercury thing? What are we giving away? What are we doing in August here?
Well, by all accounts, it'll be a 1880 Angler powered by a Mercury 200 Pro XS, kitted with Lowrance electronics and hopefully an Aquatraction floor. So, pretty impressive prize package.
Yeah, it came together well. I'm looking in my phone for the actual message back from Lowrance. I confirmed that this afternoon as well. The boat will be outfitted with HDS 12 Pro at the console, Elite 12 FS at the bow, and a recon trolling motor. So, as well as some other goodies that they're gonna add into that package. So, the boat will come very well equipped with awesome electronics, and like Dave alluded to, we have a verbal agreement with Aquatraction for a Aquatraction floor in that boat. So it'll be a good prize boat. It'll be a different boat than we've been working with in the past, obviously, but it'll be good. We're excited. A lot of time and effort has gone into making that whole thing happen. We have a handful of sponsors that are returning. We have Summit Fishing Equipment is returning with us this year. I got to look at the list here. It's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. We've got Summit Fishing is coming back this year. Floor and Decor is coming back this year. Riverbend Resort, Amy Lynn Smith Designs, Horseshoe Bay Lodge, Nitty's Hunters Point, Mad Scientist and Relevant, of course, Frankie's Denny's Resort, Amped Outdoors, Wisco Meats. They're new this year. They're a beef jerky manufacturer, commercial beef jerky manufacturer out of Green Bay area in Wisconsin. Pretty great stuff. We'll have that available at all of our events. Kettle River Traeger Grills is coming back with some pretty amazing stuff again this year. Vortex Optics, watch for their stuff at our events. They're the producer of high-end hunting optics. They're going to treat us really well this year. We've got a lot of really good things coming from them. So the sponsor list is growing as we speak. I've had a couple of meetings that just popped up since our teaser went out here about an hour ago. I've got 2 more sponsor meetings coming up tomorrow. So as always, give the sponsors all the love we can. They do a lot for us. Everything they do, cash, product, prizes, discount codes, that all costs those guys money. They believe in the Minnesota Tournament Trail as a great grassroots tournament circuit that does great things. And without our sponsors, we 100% couldn't do what we do. Any questions, throw them in the chat about sponsorships, about the change. I'm not going to get into any, I'll call them business details of the reason and the decision to change from one brand to the other. Skeeter did give the MTT a lot of good years of sponsorship. And, we should absolutely say thank you for the years that they gave the MTT. It helped grow the MTT to where it is today. Just in the current environment, this was the decision that had to be made. Outside of that, why don't we talk about something else? How about fishing? How about the river? The river is coming up. We're less than 4 weeks away. So registrations are coming in for the river. Andrew Erickson just asked, will there be emails sent out with product codes from some of the sponsors? Absolutely. With the way sponsorships are going right now with the conversations that are happening, I am going to wait until April 1st to gather product codes. Please keep those product codes within the MTT. That's a membership benefit. Those are member-only discounts and benefits. Some of them are, they're all very generous. Again, every time they give out a code, that costs that company money for their retail stuff. So for their generosity, we owe it to them to keep those codes internal. Yeah, the river's less than 4 weeks away. We are looking forward to it. It will be out of Mr. Sippy's on the river. We will have our trailer down there. We'll have everything set up and kick it off. We'll be doing some stuff on rules night and on the night in between the 2 days of tournaments on the Traeger. They have a great little bar there. They don't have a food service at Mr. Sippy's, but they have a great dock system and stuff over there for us to be able to dock boats at and all those things and do our start and stop over there. So that's where we will be doing awards. That's where we'll be taking off from. And of course, the access is right across the river. So any other questions? I can't believe there's only one question. Dave, you got anything with the season right around the corner? Have you been on the water yet?
No, my boat's in at Frankie's right now, getting some stuff done to it, so I'm pretty itchy, like I think most guys are. 4 weeks away. Everyone's pretty excited to get out. I know Hunt has been out here a few times, and he's been catching some some slobs down on the river. So hoping to get the Ranger slimed up here pretty quick. So this weather helps. Just can't wait to get started here.
Excellent. Yeah. It's right around the corner. Every day that it's sunny outside, everybody walks outside, stares at their boat, and wishes it was in the water. But it'll be here before we know it. Clark Baldwin, there is very limited parking at Mississippi's. Just an FYI. You are correct. I am working on a way to shuttle people across that bridge. If I can, it sounds crazy, but if I can fit a 4-seater golf cart in the trailer, it'll be down there to shuttle people back and forth. So we don't have a mob of vehicles trying to plug up that little point at Mississippi's. We will have somebody. If we don't have a golf cart, we'll use Maria's Suburban or something, and we'll shuttle people back and forth, kind of at will. If the weather's nice, you can walk across the bridge. If the weather's not nice, I understand that people aren't going to want to walk across the bridge and stand over there and then walk back to their vehicles. So we'll do our best to accommodate getting people back and forth. Outside of that, registrations, like I said before, registrations are looking good. Membership levels are up. I think we'll have some great numbers down on the river. And I think we'll hold some really good numbers throughout the season, just by the way we see things coming through. Watch for a new website now that we are able to come forward with this rebranding. We will be updating our website with an absolutely clean slate, new platform. I do apologize. I know there's been a bunch of issues with the format of the website. I'm not a web guy, but we've had multiple web people look at it, and they cannot figure out why, if you bring up the website, it comes up all funky. So the decision was made to just start from scratch. But we didn't want to start from scratch and then start tearing stuff down and putting stuff back up. So I would say in the next week or so, the fresh site will be up. It'll look very much the same as what we have. All of the functions will work in a way, in the way that the current website does, only more smooth. Just remember, you have to pay for your membership. Both anglers on your team have to pay for their membership individually, and then either of you will be able to log into the website and pay for your events. Any recommendations on housing down by Mississippi's? Unfortunately, I don't have any personal recommendations. Mike Utley just said there's quite a few hotels in Red Wing. Most accommodate boats with plugins. So Red Wing is going to be your best bet, I think, down in that area. I know Prescott's not super far. There's some options down there.
Yeah, I know. We spent a lot of time, but there's some really great options on VRBO and the sites like that. Very reasonable houses. So that would be something to definitely look at. That's what we've done when we've stayed down there. So VRBO, those type of sites that offer those type of rentals are a good bet.
Yeah. Outside of that, if anybody, it says we got like 48 people on here right now. If you guys have questions, throw them out there. There's been a lot of question about what's going to be considered a foul hooked fish or not. We'll announce that at the rules meeting. We have to have a good Steve's couch. We have to have a good showing at our rules meeting down there. It's a unique place. It's a unique time of the year on the river. We all know that. The bite should be really good down there. We don't want to make problems for ourselves that we don't need. So we will go over the rules for what is considered a foul hook fish at the rules meeting. at Mr. Sippy. So the rules meeting will be at the trailer like we've always done. So rules meeting night before at Mr. Sippy's at the trailer. And then of course the rules will be at the trailer on both days, or the awards rather.
And I think it's important that people come to that first one, because I know you and I talked earlier. I know there are questions out about Fish Donkey right now. I'm not going to use the word some concerns, but questions about keeping the aspect of derby fishing whilst using the app. And I know you have reassured me that obviously the app is there for the use and the streamlining of the tournament circuit, and the tournament experience will not change. And
No.
That way you show that.
Yeah, so we'll talk more about that at the rules meeting. But I apologize for the way it came out earlier on previous live streams. We can do whatever we want as far as the start and stop time. So we can keep our start and stop times just like we always have. The app can shut off before the stop time. It can be at the stop time. So if you have to be in at 3 o'clock, we can say it's over at 3 o'clock. So you still have to manage your time, which is a big part of derby fishing. If you make the choice to run out an hour and you're not watching the clock, and now you got to try and get yourself back so you don't get DQ'd, that's part of it. And let's just be honest, a lot of folks that come to see the weigh-ins, two of the most insane things to watch are the takeoff and then to be there for weigh-in when everybody is coming in to beat the clock. We want it to be safe. We don't want people coming in, and rushing the dock and all those things. We still have to keep it safe, but with time management being a big part of what you guys are doing, we can absolutely stay true to that feel with the app. The app itself does a lot for us internally. It helps with everything from submitting our reports to the DNR, makes it super quick, super easy, so we can do those same day. It allows us, if you catch a fish at 7:03 in the morning, if your start time 7 and you got a fish at 7:03, Maria and I can start verifying fish at 7:03 in the morning as they come in. Makes our job easier, as well as on some of those when it's a long run home. I know last year when we were up at Denny's, people want to get out of there that last day and get their hind end home. Some people have a 4 or 5 hour drive home from Winnibigoshish. To be able to maybe pull that awards time in by an hour, it can save us as much as an hour if we can keep up on verifying everybody's fish throughout the day. The other thing that it does is it gives us the opportunity, if you have something that comes up on your card and it looks questionable, we can reach out and say, hey, for some reason this picture didn't upload correctly, please see me at the trailer. Because Fish Donkey, although you cannot take a picture from your phone and upload it to Fish Donkey does save your pictures on your phone. So if for some reason we don't get a proper upload of a picture, we can say, hey, Dave, I need you to make sure you come and see me at the trailer so I can verify that fish that you just caught. We can communicate with each boat via messaging or by phone call through the app. It gives us the opportunity to be able to email after the tournament, during the tournament, before the tournament. It gives us a lot of ability to be able to communicate with everybody. If for some reason we can alert everybody, if for some reason a storm comes up on Lake of the Woods while we're up there and it's going to affect you guys coming in the afternoon, we would for some unknown reason have to call the tournament at 1 in the afternoon instead of letting it run till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We can send out an alert to everybody's phone. It will alert everybody that's logged into the app that, hey, there's weather coming, there's that, whatever, find shore, find whatever, or we're going to call the tournament at 1 o'clock, whatever that may be. So there's a lot of things it does for us that we weren't able to do before. Any major changes? I see that's already answered. Yes, major changes. Ranger and Mercury from Skeeter and Yamaha. We picked up Lowrance this year, has jumped on board with us as well as a sponsor. So we have an electronics brand that's running with us this year too. So that's all exciting.
So
Uh,
I'll go to, I mean, whilst we're talking about the switch, I'll speak for Ranger, Mercury, and Frankie's. I know those guys are super excited for the opportunity. And I can speak through Frankie's and so forth. We will have a number of demo events throughout the season, which obviously you'll announce as they come from the dealers and so forth. So everyone will have the opportunity to test drive a Ranger boat and see. I'm biased, of course, because I run a Ranger, but see why they are what they are, and give everyone the opportunity to take one for a spin throughout the season. So I know Frankie's, I know Ranger is super pumped, and Mercury for the opportunity, and looking forward to showcasing their brands.
Absolutely. And, like I said before, we could not put on what we put on without the support of our sponsors. Um, it it would be a very costly uh, endeavor without backing of sponsors. So if you get the chance to, you know, if you need something new for your boat, you need something new for your tackle box. Take a look at the sponsor list and see where you can support. If you're up by Mille Lacs for a weekend with your family, just remember that how well Hunters Point treats us as a tournament series when we're up there plugging up their parking lot and doing all the things. Same with Riverbend up on Lake of the Woods and Denny's, and in Horseshoe. If you're in that area and you're out doing the thing, remember they're given to us. So if we get the chance to give back to all those resorts and the local economies in those areas, it's super 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 important that we support all of our sponsors.
And I'll step in there too, Jimmy. I think it's important to know how important Norm Kester, the owner of the MTT, relevant mad scientist and beyond, was important on getting this done as well. Veteran-owned company. He was pretty integral on getting this done. So he is supporting the anglers more than most will ever know. And that's what it boils down to, right? This isn't our livings. We all go out on the weekends to hang out with our friends and fish and hopefully make a little pocket money. So he certainly stepped up to the plate to make this all possible for us as well. So I would like to extend a thank you to Norm for getting that done as well.
Absolutely. Like I said at the beginning of this, it's been a hair raising 5 days. Um, Good thing I don't pay for cell phone minutes like the good old days, or I'd be broke. Um, there's been a lot of moving parts. All the right people had to be involved, and Relevant as a company, more so Norm Kester as our owner, and of course my boss was absolutely an integral part for making this all come together in the end. And you know, buy buy the guy a beer if you see him at an event. He'd appreciate it, or just a simple thank you. I probably missed it. I got on late, but is the check-in done? Um, we are going to keep our boat check-in at the end of the day, Chris. We just talked about that a little bit. Uh, although the app can shut off whenever we want and end fishing, part of derby fishing is time management and having to get back to the dock at a certain time. And there's other things that helps with too. It doesn't, we have 2 flights come back or 3 flights come back. It doesn't plug up the access or whatever, and gives people a chance to get their boats out and whatnot. So we're going to stay true to what derby fishing is. And if your time is 3 o'clock, the app will shut off at 3 o'clock, but you also have to check in at 3 o'clock. All right. Well, unless there's anything else hot and heavy happening, I'm not going to lie. I am mentally exhausted after the last couple of days. Scott Pfeiffer says it helps beat the shit out of everything. Well, that's a personal choice, Scott. I'm not gonna lie. It's not too often you see somebody's prop come out of the water when they're coming in, but it happens. We saw it last year. Yeah, so if there's no other questions, I think we're gonna cut this short at 25 minutes here and let everybody get on with their evening. In the future, we're gonna have this will be a Sunday evening thing. I think that's when we've had our best viewership of the lives. Starting next week, we will be doing sponsor lives. We will have some people coming on to talk. I've got to work out some things. We've got Tom Wynn will be coming on to talk about his Tom Wynn University and some forward-facing sonar stuff, because that's always a hot topic in what we're doing. So some great things to come on the lives. Just keep watching Facebook, and we'll announce midweek what we're going to have happening on Sunday evening, and we will go from there. Will we need a Wisconsin fishing license for the upcoming tournament?
I'm not the DNR, but in every time I fish down the river, because it's a border water, you are good with either a Minnesota or a Wisconsin fishing license. One is good enough.
Correct.
But check DNR regulations. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah, I would. Border waters, you have to have your home state license. You are not required to have both licenses. Just understand that you need to be very aware of where you're at and what you're doing. I will say, I won't get into anything further, but I will say with the current political and economic climate, when we are up on Lake of the Woods, I would be very sure that if you're going to fish anywhere near the Canadian side, that you are taking very, very close care to obey any law that you could be affected by in Canada. It could come down to GPS location on your boat versus a conservation officer's boat, whether you're on the border, across the border, inside the border. And we all know that we're not going to win that argument as anglers. So be very cognizant of where we're fishing when we're up on Lake of the Woods. I just talked to Paul Johnson from River Bend not that long ago, and he said even Border Patrol makes 2 flights a day up and down the river. Hasn't seen it in the entire history of him owning the resort, but they're patrolling that very, very heavily currently. All right. So we will always do what we can to move around the state, around the area, to find new fishing grounds, to do new things, to present new opportunities to our trail and to our anglers. So there will always be changes in our schedule. All right. Any questions? Just know that reach out to me via cell phone, Facebook Messenger, email. There was some issues, like I addressed before. We had some issues with our MTT cell phone line for a while. So literally, if you call either phone line, it comes to my personal phone and I will answer it. So reach out with any questions. Just know if you send a text message to the MTT phone and I don't see it right away, it won't be as quick. Facebook Messenger through the MTT Facebook page is a better way to text. Everybody but you, Larry. Everybody but you. I don't know. Dave's probably a little sour at me. I made a comment at him partway through the season last year, and I said, "What am I going to do? Give you a trophy for every place?" And by God, if we didn't do just that. So
That's old news, Jimmy. That's old news. It's 2025.
yeah, he might still be better.
No, I'll tell you, I'm just excited to get the season started. I'm excited to see old faces. It's been a long winter. I'm excited to see new faces. I think all of us guys are just itching and gals to get back together and have some fun. And it's shaping up to be a pretty cool season with what you've got in the books. Shameless plug though, but if you ever want to go for a ride in a Ranger boat, hit me up at any of these events. And if you're in the market for a new Ranger Mercury-powered boat, hit up Frankie's Marine.
That couldn't have been a more shameful plug than it ever was. But yeah, very, 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 very true. Hit these guys up, show them the support. And I will say before we end this, that this was not a big, this wasn't a big back and forth thing between manufacturers. This was a lot of conversations and us making a choice to do what we feel is best for our anglers and our future.
Yeah, and I'll add to that. I'm a newbie, right? What is this, my 4th season? I know the history of Skeeter and the MTT, and their investment and commitment into the tool can never be underappreciated. So they certainly helped make it what it is, and you guys are taking the reins, and we'll see where it all goes.
Right. Yes, Chico, Nitty. Yeah, Tony, you can drive Dave's boat anytime you want.
His is bigger than mine, so yeah, he's not missing anything. Now, Bob Nitty's new boat, that'll be a screamer.
For sure. Watch for it on the water. It'll be something different than most any of us have seen on the water around here, that's for sure. Jeff Bruska asked for official boundaries for Pool 4. We will determine that probably the week of or the weekend before, if they're where the out of bounds and things are going to be. There is anybody that's been out, whether I don't care if you're ice fishing right now or if you're on the water down on the river, the water levels are low. I mean, if you don't get down there before pre-fishing, maybe Mike or Steve that are down in that area all the time. I don't see Hunter on here who's been on the river. There is some low spots. There might be some spots that you're thinking about going and diving into, and you might not get to some of the spots you want to be at. Mike says dam to dam, track to track for Pool 4. So we will make an official announcement or ruling if when we get closer. So, all right. With that, guys, I think I'm going to cut it off unless there's any other quick questions that come up. But can't wait to see everybody again. I already got a notice from the city of Becker that I have too many things in my yard because I brought the tournament trailer home to get it ready. So I guess it's time. It's time to get started. So we're excited to get back at it. See everybody down at in Red Wing and kick the season off. There's been some questions about a Directors Cup. We will announce the when and where of that as the season goes on. But until next week, we're out of here. We'll put something out midweek and we'll let you know what's happening next week on our live. Thanks for jumping on, guys. Thanks, Dave, for your time.
Thank you.